Welcome back to the garage, guys. Today we're gonna make this thing part of the car.
Starting with a reproduction panel is, frankly, just a suggestion. It never fits perfectly out of the box, so we strip it down, lay the rusted remains of the original panel over the new one and mark the cut line. It's a game of millimeters. If you're off here, the entire alignment on the door gap will look later on like it was done by a blindfolded toddler. Not surprisingly, cutting off too much is even worse, so we meticulously draw a line, only to later cut half a mile away from it. Marked with precision, cut with intent, and a considerable amount of hope.
After tracing the lines, the first step is a rough cut. So I will use this red marker loosely as a guideline, but leave 5mm to 10mm space so that I don't cut too much. With thin sheet metal like that, it's better to cut twice and keep it a little bit too big than cut once and making a mess because you're missing metal that you've cut off. I might need a new disc. It died. And now we should have two parts. You do the left side, guys, I do the right side. I need to go a good part to the left. I need to pull it a little bit down here, yeah. It's again the thin red line I already marked. That needs to go. So I'm gonna summon my angle grinder now, watch my magic hand, and there it is, magic! It's gone. Oh, and now the panel's gone. Just temporary. And that's a solid sill fitment.
There are always two sides fighting inside you. The lazy one, whispering that a quick run with the flat disc is enough for a solid butt weld. And the even lazier one, suggesting that the arc will burn through whatever's left from the STI anyway. But for once, we are not going to be maximum lazy. We are going to treat this metal with the respect and dignity it deserves. So, we're bringing out the wire wheel and we're going to get this surface properly cleaned.
First tack weld. It's always the hardest. And now comes the hard part, massaging everything into place.
Now we have a plan. The problem is, this reproduction panel was clearly pressed in some faraway backyard workshop. And it has the structural integrity and shape of a banana. It's bent downwards, so we can't just go for it. We have to work from the top down, tacking it every few centimeters. It's a slow dance. We are setting the general shape so it actually looks like a sill and not an airplane wing, but we are leaving just enough of a gap because metal hates to be trapped. It expands with the heat, and if it has nowhere to go, it'll buckle and warp. So whenever that gap gets too tight, we pull out the 1mm disc and cut it back open to release the tension. It's a slow dance, like I said, but it's the only way to keep the metal honest.
So we did a lot of back and forth with the rocker panel cover, and you might ask, so why we did like we did. The first part was to have the rough fitment. You saw us doing that. Then the next part was to have the fine fitment. You saw us do that too. Then we did some tack welds on the front, some tack welds in the back, and made an executive decision to take the angle grinder, the small one, which has survived, by the way, and slowly make a cut along the seam, thus making a perfect fitment. You need a little bit of gap, 1 mil, like I said, the width of a grinding disc, of a cutting disc, to give the metal some space and to give the welding wire some space. And we tacked it so it has some form of rigid structure, and then we cut it open again, piece by piece, to give it that 1 mil space and to have both parts of the metal not overlapping, not going across, but being a butt weld, just very, very tiny. Which is why we had to turn the welder way down in its power, around about 40 ampere, also really, really, really low, to not burn any holes in the metal, which I did anyway. But because of that, we now have a clean and smooth gap, which can be spot welded, tack for tack for tack for tack, while giving the metal enough time to cool back down again, to keep it from warping too much. It will warp, it's really, really thin sheet metal, not even a mil. It will warp, but we need to get it back to a minimum, so we can just bondo it over, sand it down, and make it look relatively smooth. In the end, there will be a side skirt over it, nobody will see it, but just for the peace of my mind and Adrian's mind, we need to get it a little bit smooth. Yeah, let me show you how we did it in a close-up. So I did promise to you guys, we put the panel in its new home. It's now part of the car, technically. They are missing a few spot welds, if not all, except 10 or so. But that will be another story for next week's video, because I was so close to losing the rest of my sanity, so close. So I'm more than happy that we came as far as we did. The panel is in its place. We have a plan. We have some kind of fitment. So next week again will be the famous Fleißaufgabe of tack welding in the top. And if we do that without killing each other, Adrian and me, Adrian behind the cam and me being here and angry, if that works, we will either, during next week's video or the video after that, start pushing the rocker panel cover up and welding it on the lower part directly to the sill. And that would mean the car has 2 rocker panel covers, which are almost fully welded in. But that's a story for another video, so see you in the next video. Please press like, share and subscribe.